Scatterplots. First blink is going to be scatterplots. Scatterplots, a graph of plotted points that show the relationship between two sets of data. It says write a linear function that provides a reasonable fit to the data shown below. Okay, so linear means what?
Line.
Listen, a straight line, correct? If I were to connect the dots with the line, would that be a straight line?
No.
No. So I want linear, a straight line. That would be reasonable. So is it going to be perfect?
No.
No, just a reasonable fit, a line that's about through the middle of all the dots, okay? So I know you can't really see it, but these are counting. Okay, the first number is 56 down here. So I want you to kind of just rewrite them because you can't really see it. 56, 62, 68, 74, and 80. And then the bottom is counting by twos. Okay? Okay, so I want you to write a function. What's function? Equation. So I'm trying to write an equation, a straight line equation that's reasonable. How would I write? Hold on. Let me think about what I'm going to say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the points, okay? I'm going to take some points and I'm going to turn them into a table. So I can go get an equation. How do I get an equation from a table? List in spreadsheets. Perfect. Okay, so that's the easiest way to get a equation. All right, how many points do I need? Two. Okay. So sometimes you've got these outliers, okay, outliers, where you'll have like a point down here that doesn't really match the rest of the graph. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a point at the first, a point at the end, and a point at the middle. I'm not going to do all the dots, okay, but I'm going to do one at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the middle. Okay, so I can have a reasonable idea for the calculator to tell me an equation. Okay, so let's pick this one right here. All right, and I want to know this point. Well, this would be about, if it's counting by twos on the bottom, it would be about 1, right, for the x. Everybody agree? It's between 0 and 2. And then it's between 74 and 80. So what would you say that is?
81.
76. So 1 and 76. Okay. Then I'm going to pick one in the middle. Doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to pick this one right here. Okay, this is between 6 and 8, which would be 7. And the y is about 68. Stay with me, guys. And then I'm going to pick the one on the end. That's 12 and 58, I guess. Okay, so I just did one at the top, middle, and end. With me?
Yeah.
Now, that's not it. It wants a linear function. So now I'm going to take this table and put it in list and spreadsheet to get that linear function. So turn your calculators on. We're going to go to list in spreadsheets. Okay, x list x, y list y, 1, 7, 12, 76, 68, 58. Everybody do it with me.
Oh my god. They're all weird decimals.
That's okay.
Oh.
Okay, then menu 4, 1, 3, x and y. What happened? I got the table on the paper. You can read the table.
I forgot.
The x and y?
The one. The one on it.
They're right here.
Oh, hello.
Okay, enter, enter. All right.
What does the R stand for?
We're going to talk about that later. Okay, so I got these long decimals. I'm going to just round it to 1 decimal point. So y equals negative 1 point. How would you round that to 1 decimal point?
1.6.
6. 1.6x. And how would you round your b?
Negative.
Yeah.
Just 78.
Oh, I didn't do it.
78.2.
Oh.
Because there's a 7 behind it. Okay? Oops. Hey, we don't say that anymore. Okay. So there's my function. That's what I wanted first. Okay? Good. We got it. Now, it says predict the lake level after 18 months. Okay, 18 months. What's representing months? X or Y? The x-axis is representing months. I know it's hard to see, but it says it right here, months. Okay? So 18 months. So this is really a what number? It's an x number. So what should I do with this 18?
Plug it in.
Plug it in where?
Yeah.
To the x. So negative 1.6 instead of writing x, I'm going to put 18
Oh,
plus 78.2. So after 18 months, so make sure you're writing this. Everybody needs to be writing this. You need to be writing this, okay? Everything that I have on my paper, you should have on yours. Okay, so then we're going to go to a regular calculator. Control dot. Calculator. Negative 1.6 times 18 plus 78.2 gives me 49.4. So how high is the lake level? 49.4, and you can't tell, but it's talking in, I would assume that's feet, right? So about, because it's predicting, about 49.4, I would say feet. Or not predicting, it's rounding, okay? This is a reasonable fit. So I don't know exact, this is not exact, okay? So it's about 49.4 feet. Then it says, if this pattern continues, when will the lake run dry? So what does that mean? Figure it out. If it continues, when will the lake run dry?
So you have to put a y, but in the y space you have to put 0.
How do you know?
Because it says when it runs dry, so that means 0.
Good. Okay, you're exactly right. So when the lake runs dry, if the lake is dry, how many feet of water does it have?
0.
0 feet. Okay, there's no water. So what he's saying is we're going to put 0 in the y spot because the y represents the feet of the water. And if there's no water, you don't have any feet of water, that would be 0. So we're going to put 0 equals negative 1.6x plus 78.2. Now what? Where?
And so,
You just don't solve it because, oh yeah, you solve it because y is not by itself, right?
You're solving because x is not by itself.
Oh.
We know the y is 0, so I got to go find the x. So let's go ahead and solve it by hand. Okay, what do I do?
Subtract 78.2.
Minus 78.2. Everybody should be writing with me. Put that back on there. And write with me. Minus 78.2.
minus 78. Oh,
Got it? So minus 78.2 equals negative 1.6. Write with me. Divide by negative 1.6. X equals, then in my calculator, negative 78.2 divided by negative 1.6, 48.7.
About.
I say 48.9. So how many, what does this represent? How many
Days. How much?
months? So about 48.9 5.9 months. Questions? Questions? Okay.
Any questions?
All right. Now, it says, example 2, write a linear function that provides a reasonable fit. Reasonable fit. So when you see reasonable fit, you got to know that it is a scatter plot. Okay? If it didn't say reasonable fit, then that would mean that it's a regular table that we've been working with, and you only have to plug in the first 2 numbers. But because it says reasonable fit, now it's a scatter plot. So I need a beginning, a middle, and the end. So those are the ones that I'm going to put in the calculator because it says what? Reasonable fit. Okay, if you can't remember that, then always just put all of them. All right, so we need to come up with an equation. So we're going to go to listing spreadsheets because it says write a linear function. So x and y. How do I know that this is a scatter plot? Reasonable fits. Okay, so 0 is my first x, 6 and 14. Then 87,241. Make sure you're plugging these numbers in right. Check them. Double check them. Come on, everybody should be doing this. 96,702. You do it off your paper. Okay, get your equation and round it. Go ahead and write it. Let me see your calculator. Let me see your calculator. Menu 413. X list, Y list, Y. Enter, enter. I'm going to get these long decimals. Okay, so I'm going to round them. Y equals 683.7 x plus 86799.2.
Wait, Mr. You got that wrong.
What'd I do?
The M is a 0.6, not a 60.
Oh, no, you did that wrong.
My number's wrong?
I got the same as hers.
I did.
I did too.
There's supposed to be different. That's not what it said. There's a comment.
Well, I didn't know. No one said nothing.
Oh.
No one said anything to anybody. You should
I heard.
know that those are commas.
I can't see it.
That's okay. Okay, so here we go. We'll just use this one. Then it says, predict the population in 2020. So what is that?
Year 2.
That's my X, because X is talking years, Y is talking population. Now, let's look at this. It says years since 2000. So do I put 2020 in the X spot?
You put 1.
I put how many years is that since 2000?
It'd be 20.
So this should be 20 in the X spot. Is everybody following with me? Good? Okay. So 683.7 times 20. Everybody should be writing this. Okay, Okay, then go to your calculator, regular calculator. Control doc. 683.7 times 20 plus 86,799.2 gives you 100,473. So about 100,473. So what's that tell me? What is that?
Population.
The what?
Population.
Population. Good. So how many people? And then I'll put a comment in here. Okay, if this pattern continues, when will the population reach 100,000? So what do I need to do with this?
You need to put 100.
It's a population number, so it goes in the Y. Okay, so 100,000 equals the equation 683.7x plus 86,799.2. Okay, now this is a lot of numbers, so to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in solve. For you guys, I want you to work it out though. So menu, well, on your homework, if it's a homework problem. 100,000 equals 683.7x plus 86799.2, comma, x. I'm just going to do NSOB to give you guys more time on your practice. Okay, and what does that mean?
A little over 19 years.
A little over what?
19 years.
19 years. Where did my pencil go? I don't know where it's put it. So it was 19.3. So about 19.3 years. Your population will reach 100,000 people. Questions? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.